interesting things. Okay, and we have mentioned how important is that particular session in terms of understanding the fundamental neural network learning, right? So we discussed number one, Heppian learning. Okay, and we also discussed the learning rule, then how the Heppian learning is used for supervised. Then of course we have talked about unsupervised. Okay, then we have introduced concept of linear decision boundary. Okay, and we also understood what are linearly separable problems. Okay, so we discussed this as well, linearly separable problems. The role of linear decision boundary uh, in understanding the learning process, or the role of linear decision boundary in the learning process. Also, we have seen. Okay, so essentially, it is to distinguish your inputs that are producing positive outputs and the inputs that are producing your negative outputs. So we wanted to classify that. So how to do that? The role of decision boundary, and once that task is completed, means the learning is done. So that is what we have discussed. In fact, I have looked at the last week learning exercise. Okay, many of you have completed the assignment that I have given, asking you to summarize the learning activity you have made, and I'm happy that many of you have filled that particular form, and among that, some of them have said, sir, we have understood these concepts, and some of them have said, sir, we need clarification, number one, about the learning constant. Okay, uh, one point is about learning constant. We always so far said that learning constant is 1. Okay, what is the role of learning constant that we are yet to discuss? Of course, in the upcoming sessions, we will be doing it. In fact, that was one point was raised by some of the students, and some of them have said that they wanted to have more samples to be discussed in the session. But let me tell you honestly, we have discussed everything with an example of AND gate. Okay, it's very a simple process. We have explained it, and we cannot. There are so many other samples, but only thing is that discussing them each and every aspect would be difficult and time consuming, and hence not possible in the regular class hours. But what I suggest is that, see, I am making the entire worksheet, the class notes available to you, where we have the entire working, and entire recorded session is available to you. So what I suggest is the book, the prescribed textbook, is having some solved examples. Okay, already you have some solved examples. Similarly, there are some assignments. Okay, book back assignments. So I strongly advise all of you to have a close look at the solved examples. In fact, they are step by step. Okay, those who have some doubts, they can look at that solved examples, and those who have familiarity, they can direct right away go to the assignments and try to solve it. And in fact, some of them have raised some points about the input that is given to the network. In that regard, before we start today, we are going to introduce the perceptron learning rule. Okay, before I start, I just wanted to give a brief, I wanted to give this particular scenario. Imagine the scenario is this. You have apples, okay, and you have oranges. The point is, there is a machine that is going to take each fruit. Okay, it is going to take input of each fruit. So take an example, you have apple like this, and I'm sorry, this may not be exact figure, but similarly some kind of an orange like this. Okay, so it is going to take each fruit and look at that fruit. When I say look, it is going to obviously have some sensors, through some sensors. So it is going to take the fruits one after the other, and there are some sensors, right? There are some sensors which are going to detect, number one, shape, number two, texture, and number three, weight. Okay, there are some sensors. Imagine that the sensors are going to give this shape, texture, and weight, and submit this to the neural network. Okay, the neural network. Now, what the neural network is going to do is it is going to decide, okay, and give us some decision. So that you have some machine here. What this machine is going to do is it is going to receive these fruits. Okay, the sensors are sensing of the fruit, but there is a conveyor belt kind of a thing which is receiving, which is sending these fruits to this particular machine, sorter machine or a sorter machine, and this machine is going to dump if it is apple to this particular bin, and if it is orange to this particular bin. Are you able to follow what we are discussing? All of you?
Yes, sir.
So now the point, now the point is what these sensors are going to do is, the role of sensors is very important. These are all going to submit input to the neural network. Okay, input to the neural network. What they say is, for shape, they say it is 1 if the shape of the fruit is round. Okay, and they say it is -1 if the shape is not round. Okay, similarly, the texture is going to be 1 if the fruit is smooth in texture. If it is rough or kind of a rough, it is going to be -1. Similarly, the weight, you are going to have 1 if it has more than, say, 1 pound or 1 pound. Similarly, if it is else, it is -1. So what happens is, to the neural network, essentially you are submitting these 3 patterns. So for every fruit, what is that? Shape, texture, and weight. Okay, how we are going to submit it? We are going to submit it as, imagine if it is 1 -1 -1. I'm saying that if this is the pattern, make it as orange, and if this is the pattern, okay, like 1 1, and if it is -1, you make it as apple. Okay, so I'm going to train the network. Are you able to follow so far what we discussed?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So now the point is, this is an object. Okay, and these are all the features. Now this is a 3-dimensional feature vector. Okay, what we are giving to the neural network is the feature vector. It is 3-dimensional. Okay, so the number of dimensions are more, obviously you are going to have more number of features given to the neural network. Okay, and more would be the accuracy of the neural network. So that means in this case we have actually captured only 3 features, right? Imagine if I'm able to capture more features. Of course, my neural network classification accuracy will be more, but obviously it increases the complexity. Okay, so this is how you need to view the problems that are given to the neural network. So typical pattern classification problem. Is clear? Especially those somebody who gave the feedback saying that sir, we were little having doubts about the inputs and all that. Is clear?
Yes, sir.
So now the point is, my neural network is going to get trained based on certain learning rules. That what we have discussing, like one, of course we have whatever so far we discussed are the simple learning rules, but based on certain learning rules or learning algorithms, you train the network. Okay, and hence it is going to decide. So the decision means it's not that it is taking a decision on its own, but based on certain training. Okay, once that is done, based on these particular features, the upcoming fruit, it will tell, okay, so fruit comes, the sensor sense, gets the values, network gives the decision, and by the time fruit comes, the machine will send that particular fruit either to the apple box or to the orange box. Okay, so it's classifies it. So this is how you need to view any problem, that what you are going to what you are going to, whatever you are going to solve with the neural network, you need to keep this point in mind. Next, we will go to the next learning rule, that is perceptron learning rule. Okay, so this is one of the interesting learning rule, and which is become number one. It is one of the more powerful learning rule. All of you are able to follow?
Yes, sir.
It is the more powerful learning rule than Hebbian. Okay, whatever we discussed in this one, and again it is iterative. Okay, it follows iterative procedure. And remember, the convergence rule, or the convergence, it says that the learning rule is proved to be, converging if there are correct weights existing to the problem. Okay, this is what actually one of the important postulate of the perceptron learning rule, that says that the learning rule will certainly gets converged. When I say converge, what does it mean? It means that it learns the weights. It learns the weights, if at all that weights are already there for that particular problem. So AND gate, of course, certainly you will have the weights. Only thing is we need to find out. OR gate, yes, they would be certainly like that. There are pattern classification problems. If the weights are there somewhere, certainly the neural network learning rule of perceptron, it will find the weights. Okay, and the learning rule, how it proceeds is, it is like this. For each training input, when I say input or training input, both are same. What it will do is, it will calculate the net. The net would be calculated and response of the node, that means actual output. Okay, then we check the error. Okay, we check the error. Remember, This is the term which we are introducing now. By computing or by comparing the actual with target. Okay. So for each training input, what we are going to do is we are going to calculate the net input, and hence we calculate the actual output. So this is net input, then actual output, then check the error. How do you check the error? By comparing the actual with the target. Now tell me whether this is supervised or unsupervised.
Supervised.
So it is supervised. It is supervised. So how you are going to adjust the weights? The weight adjustments are going to happen as the new weights is equal to the old weight plus the learning constant, T, the target, and Xj. Okay. So where your T is the target at output node and Xj is input at node I. Okay. Obviously, this is your learning constant. Okay. So what happens is that if there is error, that means if your target and your actual output both are not same, you are going to modify the weights. That means what we are going to do is weights on the non-zero input will be adjusted. Number one, as they only are contributing to the error. What is error? Your target is not equal to the actual. Okay. When your target is not equal to your actual, you are going to modify the connection weight, and that too, which connections you are going to modify? The connections that are having non-zero input. Of course, even if you try to modify the connections of the zero inputs, what will happen is this becomes zero, right? Is this clear?
Yes.
Is this clear? Is this clear? Any doubts?
Yes. So cannot we make it like bipolar like we did earlier?
Sorry, what is that?
Like using 1 and -1 like we used earlier.
Yeah. That we will take one, the what I say, one particular scenario, and we will proceed. That we will do it. But I think you have understood this, right? The algorithm part.
Yes, sir.
Not the algorithm, but the learning part. We will see first algorithm, then we will come back to this one. Okay, I'll just show you the algorithm. Then we will come to the this part. Okay, so let's give a moment. Now let us go to the algorithm part. All of you are able to see the algorithm?
Yes, sir.
So now this is perceptron learning algorithm. So look at the algorithm. Initially, what we are going to do is initialize all the weights. So typically you keep all W1, W2, etc. to zeros and so on. And set the learning rate. Okay, so that your learning rate alpha, sometimes books follow different notations like neta. So make it as 0, make it as 1, or whatever it is. But for the time being, let us make it as 1 and keep the threshold value. So then you take each training pair, each training vector, and do these steps. And remember, your learning algorithms from now onwards, whether it is perceptron learning algorithm, ADA-line learning algorithm, or multiple ADA-line or multi-layer perceptron, this is the standard structure of the learning algorithms which you need to follow. So step 4, you are going to submit the inputs. Okay. Then what you are going to do? You are going to calculate the net input to the unit. What is the net input? So W1 X1 plus W2 X2 and so on. Okay. So that's how it is written as sigma I Wi Xi. Once that is done, look at the activation function. Okay. So you say the activation, if your net input is greater than threshold value, you make it as 1. If it is less than threshold value, make it as -1. Then if it is else, like the threshold value, if your input net input is within that threshold value range, then you are making it as a 0. Now, what is step 7? This is where is your learning is happening. Okay, where is your learning happening, and you are applying the perceptron learning. Okay, so you are checking if there is an error. How do you check? If your actual output, what you calculated at step 6, is not equal to the target value of that particular neuron, then how you are adjusting the weights? If there is a new, if there is error, the old weight plus learning constant, target, and the input. Okay. Remember, if there is no error, means weights are kept unchanged. Okay. So if there are no errors for the entire set of training pairs, then stop. Otherwise, go to step 3. This is your learning algorithm. Is the algorithm fine?
Yes, sir.
All of you now, please take. Yeah, please.
Sir, just wait 2 minutes. I am copying.
Yeah. Anyway, this I will be giving it the handouts. So we will go to the the one particular problem. As usual, let us take your perceptron learning, perceptron for AND gate with bipolar input and targets. Okay. Now all of you please take pen and paper. I want all of you please take pen and paper. Please put the today date now, and then write your registration number and name. Then once the session is completed, I want you guys to upload this. You take scan that and upload it in the same channel, okay, as a reply to the today's class. Your attendance will be taken from those who are responding with the handout. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So you guys need to submit the handwritten whatever what we are working it out now, the perceptron for AND gate. Okay, so the point is simple. It is not that I want to give attendance or not want to give attendance. The idea is that every one of you have to take pen and paper and work out. And remember that you may wonder that, sir, why I should take a pen and paper and then work out now when there are already programs available online. The tools are available online. But the point is that you need to know how the working of it. That's what is the course about. Okay. So many times students do this play with the learning algorithms of the neural networks as a black box, because since the already codes are there, without knowing what is happening. Being a computer science student, you should know the step-by-step process of the learning algorithm. Now let us take the inputs. Okay. Yeah, it is like this. Yeah, yes, please.
Like we have to upload the like scanned copy of what you are writing right now. The
Now,
perception
not
of
what
time.
I'm writing. Remember, it's not what I'm writing, what you are writing. Whatever you are going to solve it along with me now, that you please upload. Okay. Anyway, don't worry now. Let us solve the problem. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So now let us take the input x1, x2 and bias input, which is 1. Okay. So now when you take 1, 1 and 1, I'm going to write here the net input. And I'm going to write here it is the actual output. Okay. And the target at the node. Okay. And then the weight change, that means after applying the learning rule. Okay. Now the weights what we are getting. Now initially your connection weights, that means W1, W2 and W bias. Okay, the bias connection, they are all 0. Okay. You know the learning rule that says the new connection weight is equal to W volt plus learning constant C or neta, and then the target and then the input, right? Now this is input I. Okay. So now tell me, what is the net input you get when you are applying x1, x2 and 1, and remember your connection weights are 0. What is the net input you get when you submit all ones?
0.
Okay. Is that clear why we are getting 0 to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then tell me what is the actual output when the net input is 0?
Sir, how we got that 0 net input?
Yeah, tell me
The
what is
output
the
is
net
1.
input? What is the net input? How do you calculate net input?
Like formalize there, right?
What is that?
I forgot.
Okay, don't worry. X1 W1 plus X2 W2 plus your bias, right? When I say bias, that is you positive 1 into bias weight. Okay, so that means you can take it as WB. Okay, now tell me.
So W1 and W2 and WB are 0. So everything will be 0, right?
What is actual output then? When net input is 0, what would be the actual output? We have seen the learning rule, right? For a bipolar learning rule, when the net input is 0, obviously your actual output also would become 0. So what is the target when all ones are there for an AND gate?
1.
Oh, okay, very good. Now tell me how the weights would change now. So you need to change W1, you need to change W2, you need to change WB. How these weights would change? How the weights would change? Is the weight change is required or not?
Yes, sir.
So your T is not equal to your actual output. Imagine if this is O, T is not equal to O. Weights have to change. What are the new weights? What is W1?
Into Xi.
What is old weight?
0.
0 plus learning constant neta is equal to 1. So 1 into what is target?
1.
What is X? X1.
1.
Okay, now tell me what is the weight?
2.
New weight, W1.
1.
Okay. Similarly, for W2,
All
bias. So the new weights, what we got is 1, 1, and 1. Now I am going to provide input of 1, minus 1, and 1. Now tell me what is your net input.
So can you again explain that weight change, please?
No, this is simple here. You are modifying this weight. You have to modify this weight and you have to modify this weight. How you are going to modify W1? W1 is equal to old weight. This is 0. Learning constant is 1. Target value, this is 1. And your the input xi, since you are changing W1, you are going to look at x1, small x1. So it is 1. Right? So obviously W1 is new weight is 1. Correct?
Yes, I got it. Thanks.
So what is the difference here between weight change and weights?
Okay, it's not. It is only for this is the weight change. Both are same. In fact, I'm writing for our convenience. I will tell later. Okay. Now this is where you are calculating. You can say that you are finalizing here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now tell me, you take these weights all once and you provide the input x1 as 1, x2 as minus 1. Bias anyway it is always 1. Now tell me what is your net input.
1.
Going.
Okay. And when net input is 1, what is your actual output?
1.
So what would be the target value?
0.
Minus 1.
Yeah, because it is bipolar, right? It is minus 1. Now tell me whether your target and actual are same.
No, sir.
So do we have to change the weights?
Yes, sir.
And tell me the new weights. What would be W1? Can you please repeat?
1 minus 1, 1.
Is it 1 minus 1, 1? Or minus 1, 1 minus 1?
Minus 1, 1 minus 1, sir.
Yeah. So it is supposed to be minus 1, 1 minus 1. So I'm going to fix it minus 1, 1 minus 1. Okay. Now I'm going to take the next input, that is minus 1, 1 and 1. What is the net input?
Again 1. Oh, wait. No.
Net input. And you see these new connection weights. These are new connection weights.
1, sir.
1.
Please check it. Sorry?
1.
It's 1, sir.
It's 1?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, it is minus 1 into 1, minus 1, it is 1 plus 1 and minus 1. Okay. It is 1, right?
Yeah.
And actual output is 1.
Going.
So target is, it is AND gate, it is minus 1. Okay. Now tell me the new weights.
1 minus 1 minus 1.
Okay. So 1 minus 1 minus 1. Now final inputs, minus 1, minus 1, 1. So x1 minus 1, w1 is 1. You are going to have minus 1. Minus 1. Sorry?
Minus 1 is the answer, I think.
So is it minus 1?
Yes.
Then what is the actual output? It is minus 1. And what is your target? Is also minus 1. Your target is equal to 0. Right? So weight change, no need to change weights. So you keep -1. You keep whatever the weights you got in the previous learning. So I think this has to be erased. Okay, this is whatever that. Yeah, please. 1 minus 1 minus 1.
So isn't weight like the old weight plus change in weight change?
Sorry.
Sir, isn't that weights equals to weight change plus old weight?
Weight change is equal to old weight plus.
Sir, no, weight equals to weight change plus change in weight.
No, I didn't get you. What is that?
Sir, like the final column weights, isn't
Okay.
that equal to
No.
like
See, it
old
is
weight?
like this. It is like this. When there are no change in the weights, what does it mean is you are going to adopt the weights that are already there. Okay. You are going to keep or you are going to fix the weights. Okay.
So like for the weight change, we only calculated like eta times t times x of I. So
Correct.
won't like what weights be old weight plus that weight change, like for each and
No,
every step?
that's what I'm telling. See, you look at the step here, we calculated the target. We calculated the actual. We have the target. We have the actual. Is both are same or not?
Yes. So I'm saying for step 2.
Sorry.
So like the weight change how we calculated it was eta, which is already 1, so just t
See,
times x of I,
1
right?
minute. No, I'm still not able to understand for which step. So this is step 1. This is
Okay,
step
so
2.
for step 2. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Okay.
for step 2, we calculated weight change as
Yeah, it is
60
supposed to be
times.
like this. See, it is
Yeah.
supposed to be like this. New weights is equal to old weights plus neta into t into xi. That is not that what you are saying here?
No, sir. Actually, that is just a change. Like only eta
What is
times t times x of I.
Yeah, because the W old is 000 now.
no? I don't. What
That
is
is
the
for the
question? I
first
don't understand.
step. Like for the second step, there are already 1, 1, 1. So what I'm saying is, isn't the weight for the second step like 0, 2, and 0?
See, okay, you mean to say no? What I am mentioning here is the weights what we have got after step 2.
Yes, sir. Sir, while calculating the weight change, we only like took t times x of I. That's why we got -1, 1, and -1.
Okay.
And then so we need to add it to the old weight, like which is 1, 1, and 1. So won't we get 0, 2, and 0?
See, it is like this. Okay, I don't have the exact calculation. The point what I'm mentioning here is this, like this. See, your new weights are old weights plus eta t xi, right? You tell me, is this the weights that what we have calculated is with that or not?
Sir, the weight change is only t times x of I. We haven't considered old weight in that
No,
weight
we are
change.
supposed to calculate. We are supposed to add old weight plus neta txi. That's what I wanted to mention here. Now tell me
Yes, sir.
what are the new weights?
0,
What
2,
are the
and
new weights?
0.
0,
2, and 0.
okay, 0, 2, and 0. In such case, you have to take 0 to 0 here and calculate and tell me the net input.
Yes, sir. That is what I was thinking.
See, please change the weights as per the formula. The new weights are old weight plus your learning constant. Keep the learning constant as 1. Target into x. That's how the new weights have to come. So when the old weights are 1, 1, 1, the new weights are supposed to come as per this particular formula. The old weight, that means 1 plus, I have written here somewhere, I think I have not written completely. So the new weight 1, old weight plus, that is 1 plus neta, that is learning constant 1. Then target value, which is
It's 1.
1. So that is supposed to be 0, right? So the values are to be calculated as per this formula. I'm just taking your the numbers coming from here.
Sir, how we got that 0? Like in 1 minus 1 comma 1 case, like the old weight is 1, right?
Correct.
Plus 2 into minus 1 into 1, right? So
Correct.
1 minus 2 minus 1 will
Oh my
get,
God.
right?
See, it is like this here. Okay, let me calculate. Old weight is 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
The new weight is old weight plus your learning constant neta. What is the target?
Minus 1.
Okay, minus 1. And then what is x? X1.
1.
Now what is the new weight? 1 minus 1, that is 0, right?
Okay, that's eta. Okay.
What is eta? So this is the neta learning constant or C
Because
learning constant.
like 2. That's why I asked.
Okay. Similarly, W2. I thought you are calculating with, this is what the calculations I wanted with pen and paper. Everyone has to calculate and tell me the answers. So 0 to 0. Now tell me what is the net input here. So that means this is not 1, right? What would be the input?
So it should be 2, sir.
It would be 2.
This is 2. Okay, if this is 2, then the actual output would be 1 anyway. 1, that is correct. So the target node is minus 1, targeted the node, because the AND gate minus 1 1, the output is target is minus 1. Now tell me what are the weights. What are the weights?
Sir, actually the change in weight would be again like minus 2.
No, yeah, you please tell me the new weights. What are the new weights you get? So your old weights are 0 to 0. You calculate the new weights and tell me.
Sir, 1 1 minus 1.
Okay. This is the what everyone has got?
Yes, sir, same.
Okay. Now you tell. Now you take the old weights and come to the next input pattern. Okay, that is minus 1, minus 1 1. Yes, please.
So the weight change and the weight should be same, right?
Yeah, this is, and I think this column is creating the confusion. The point is that you have to finally look at what are the weights that what we are going to get after doing the correction. This is what I mean to say when you are taking the weights, new weights. Okay, just take new weights and tell me.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Now the point is step 3, we have 1 1 minus 1, and you submit the next input pattern, that is minus 1 minus 1 1, and tell me what is the net input.
So minus 3.
Okay, that means this is not, this is minus 3. Okay, now if it is minus 3, okay, anyways, it's negative. So obviously you are going to have actual output of minus 1. And since it is minus 1, obviously your target is minus 1 and your target is actual. Anyway, this is fine. So that means you are not going to do any changes to the your connection weights. So whatever the previous connection weights that are going to be retained, that means 1 1 minus 1 would be retained. So no changes to the connection weights. Okay. Now the point is we have given 1 1. Our connection weights, our target is not correct. Now let us do one thing. You repeat the process. That means since it is an iteration, actually speaking, since your target is actual, we can stop the learning. Okay, we can stop the learning, but it is not a right practice to stop the learning by checking with only one particular feature. Okay, one particular feature vector. So now let us take the first feature vector, that is 1 1 and 1, and take the connection weights. What are they? 1, 1, minus 1 and tell me net input. What is net input?
1, sir.
1. And what would be the output?
1.
And obviously target at the node is 1. And is there any need for change of the weights? No need, because your target is equal to actual. Actual and targets are same. Okay. Now let us try for 1, minus 1, 1, and also you guys please check the third pattern, minus 1, 1, and 1. If in every case you have t is equal to 0, that means for this particular problem, the final connection weights are 1, minus 1, 1, and minus 1, which are derived at this particular connection step. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we actually have to do the the learning proceeds for perceptron learning algorithm. So all of you, please solve the same. Now, in addition to the what we have done, please solve for OR gate. Okay, OR gate, bipolar input and targets. Please solve and then upload it in the Teams so that I would be considering this for the attendance. Now the point is, in the beginning we said perceptron is wonderful and powerful learning algorithm. Okay, but it has weakness. Okay, this works only for linearly separable problems. Okay, works only for linearly separable problems. Now you may get a doubt, sir. You keep saying that the linear decision boundary, linearly separable problems, and all that. Is it that we have not linearly separable problems? That means non-linearly separable problems? Yes, we have. Okay, in majority of our applications, scenarios are not linearly separable problems. What are not linearly separable problems? Let us see one simple case. I'm giving x1, x2, and y, and x1 is x2 0. I'm saying y is 0. x1 0, x2 1, y is 1. x1 1, x2 0, y is 1. x1 1, x2 1, y is 0. What is this? What is this?
So it's an XOR gate.
So it is XOR. Now I'm calling this as class A, where I'm getting a 0 output, and this as class B. Okay. Now take your when you apply it on a plot, x1, x2. Obviously, this is 0 0, and this is somewhere around here is 0 1, and this one. Okay. In the coordinates, if you look at this 1 1 is A, and 0 0 is A. Okay. Now here it is x1 0. It is x1 x2 is 0 and x1 has some value 1. So take an example. This is also B and this is B. Okay. Now, when you wanted to draw a linear decision boundary for this kind of when you wanted to draw a decision boundary for this type of problem, is this possible to draw? Can I draw a boundary like this?
No, sir.
This is not possible. Can I draw like this? Not possible. You draw in any manner? Not possible. That in the idea is that you need to have a boundary. When you have a boundary, one side of the boundary you have one set of patterns that are giving you positive output, one set on the other side giving you the negative output. But it is not possible. Okay, you cannot draw a linear decision boundary that separates the patterns in this manner. Similarly, not only that, look at the graphs like this. I have patterns. I have patterns like this. Now, can you draw a linear line or a decision boundary that separates the patterns classes for this particular scenario?
No, sir.
You cannot draw a linear decision boundary. You cannot. It is not possible. Draw a linear decision boundary. So the internal structure of your perceptron network, the structure of perceptron network do not permit. Okay, so the structure of perceptron network do not permit us to solve not linearly separable problems with the help of perceptron learning rule. So when I say structure, I'm just giving you the structure of perceptron network here just for your understanding purpose. Are you able to see the network structure? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So now
Yes,
imagine, this is a simple pattern recognition or a character recognition problem where you are going to capture the input pattern and then, these are all the feature detection layers, and then you are going to give it as an input to the network. So it's a simple perceptron. Okay. So when I say structure, it is number one, your architecture, number one, and your learning rule. Okay. When I say learning rule, applying the learning rule in the sense checking the error and modifying your connection weights is absolutely correct. But the way we are doing that particular learning process, the correction process, is important. So in order to address this type of issues, of course we have multi-layer perceptron, but before we go to the multi-layer perceptron, we actually need to understand adaptive linear element called ADA line. So that we will be discussing it in the next class. Okay, is that clear?
Sir, for like uploading purpose, what we have to upload, like for the same